Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday. The message for today is just show up. Just show up. Because when I tell you, there are so many cliches that are true, and that's one of them. Just show up, because showing up is the hardest part. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm coming to talk to you guys about today, because I don't always want to show up. I don't always feel like doing the thing. I don't always have the space or the capacity. But I've learned. And again, these are a few revelations or revelations, whatever words you want to choose, that I've just been able to evolve my perspective of just this week alone. I wrote down some things because I want to make sure that I hit some of the things that came to my mind as clearly as they came to me. I like them to be read or for you to see them. I hope that made sense. Long story short, stay tuned in with me. And again, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. The first one I spoke of was just show up. And I want to reframe that word to the power of showing up. A lot of times we don't want to do anything. We don't want to do the thing. We don't want to get up. We don't want to get started. But once you roll out of bed, or once you go ahead and go to the gym, once you're done with that thing, you feel so empowered, right? And that's how I feel, and that's what I feel like the purpose of me just showing up today is enough. Because I didn't want to do it. A part of me wanted to go ahead and take my shower so that I could get in the bed, go live while in the bed with the lights off, with the camera off, so I didn't have to be seen. The other part of me said, you're going to have to just get used to showing up. No matter how you show up, you got to show up. So this is me showing up. You got to find your routine. If you're not in a routine or have certain things that you must get done throughout your days, you'll get wound up in everything. It's easy to get distracted. We're going to come back to that one. But you got to find a routine and stay disciplined in whatever that routine is. For me, it looks like when my eyes open, I may lay there for a few moments. If I have an alarm set, I may go back to bed. Who knows? But once I'm up, once I rise, I'm going to wash my face. Well, before I wash my face, I hit my knees, roll out of bed, knees are on the ground, praying. Gratitude, thank you. Then I get into the washing my face, brushing my teeth, making up the bed. Those are things that are like a requirement for me to do, because even when I get out the bed and my spirit is telling me, hey, get back in the bed, you ain't going to do nothing today, just lay in, sleep in, I make sure that I get up and I do those things and I push through those things, even if that's all that I do for the day. That's a part of routine, and it helps to stay focused and disciplined. Stay tuned in with me and let me know what resonates for you. Another cliche that's so true, we don't like to say it, we don't like to give it the credit that's due, but all I can do is all I can do. Because having this conversation or just talking with my folks lately is just like, it's so much stuff that you want to do. It's so much stuff that you want to get done. It's so much that has to be done. And if you try to do everything, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be exhausted, emotionally drained, all over the place, just all these different feelings. And you can't control everything. So all I can do is all I can do. And whatever I can't do, I ain't going to worry about it. And that's the realest that it's ever been. Again, a revelation that has just come back like, oop, there it is. Listen to that. All I can do is all I can do. I can reach out to people. They ain't got to respond. I did my part. You can show up. You can show up for the thing. You can do your part and want everybody else to participate the same way that you would show up. But all you can do is just what you're going to do. And that's kind of like just minding thine own business, because you can't expect for people to show up in the same ways that you would if you were them, because you're not them. Right? So all I can do is all I can do. I don't want to have no grudges behind nothing. I don't want to have no falling outs about anything that we disagree on. I did my part. I did what I could do. If we don't meet in the middle with that, I've done my part. That's all I could do. Another one is, it'll all work out. We worry about so many things. And when I was in my spirit of worry earlier, I wanted to call somebody. I wanted to talk on the phone. The other part of me said, no, you ain't got to say that out loud. Go in. So I decided to ride in silence. I decided to just tune into myself. I decided to just listen to my own inner guidance, my own inner wisdom. And I understood after sitting in that, I didn't need to talk nothing out. I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to escape that moment. All I needed to do was just be quiet. Hello, hello. All I had to do was be quiet. And now in hindsight, I'm so glad that I didn't have that conversation. I'm so glad that I didn't involve other people or involve other energies that didn't need to be disturbed. I had it. And it all worked out. So sometimes we don't need to do the reactive thing. We don't need to say the thing that's at the top of your mind. You don't have to send that text message. Sometimes all you need to do is just type it in that box. Look at it and then walk away from it. And then you'll realize if you come back to it after a moment or two, you ain't need to send that and it all worked out, right? We panic. We react. But everything always works itself out, even when it doesn't feel like things are going well. There are so many times that I can look back on where I worried and I'm not getting sleep. I'm disturbed. I'm stressed out, trying to figure out and wondering, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I couldn't do nothing, but I worried about it. And then it worked out. So with that wisdom, with that understanding, there's nothing to worry about. If you're present in the moment, look around, take a breath, even if it feels like nothing is working out, everything is working out just fine. We're just not present enough sometimes to realize that right where you are, everything is cool. It's chaotic in the world. There's many things that's happening, but if you are where you are, everything cool, right? Even if it feels like it's not. Even with life continuing to happen outside of just where we are, it's going to happen, but it'll all work itself out. Another revelation or another cliche that I'm speaking of that is really true is boundaries. People have a right to tell you no. People have a right to tell you or to create barriers, whether it's to protect them or if it's to keep you from whatever the attack may be that you're bringing. If it's not resonating with where they are, people have a right to their boundaries. People have a right to say, no, not right now. People have a right to say no. They have a right not to respond to whatever your request is right when you ask for it. Sometimes people need a moment to sit with that. And if they don't respond to you immediately, ain't nobody mad. There's nothing wrong. But they have a right to that boundary. I have a right to create space between me and whatever is being asked of me before I decide to commit to it. Respect people's boundaries. And a lot of times we're offended by it. And I found myself a little offended by people not being able to show up how I would have shown up. And I had to just sit with myself earlier and I had like a little self-check. I'm like, you can't control how people going to show up. Your capacity is not their capacity. All you can do is all you can do. And what about if that was all that they can do in that moment? How much more peace and respect will we have with each other if we understood that? I don't always have it. Maybe they don't have it right now. The thing that we mainly mistaken or misunderstand when it comes to boundaries is that person really doesn't owe you an explanation, but the fact that the boundary is not communicated is why the issue arises, right? If I tell you, if you ask me for some money and I say, no, I can't, or no, I ain't got it, I now can't get mad at you because you said that you don't have it. I now don't have the right to ask you what you gonna do with it, why you can't give it to me. I ain't got no rights to asking you questions about why you can't do something. It's really none of my business. And if we mind thine own business more, we'll understand, oh, okay, they ain't feeling it right now. But it's cool. They ain't mad at you. They just can't do it. And whatever they can't do, they just can't do. But we want other people to tell us, hey, this is how I'm feeling at this moment, and a boundary of mine is to tell you no when I can't do something. So I'm going to tell you no, and that's the reason why I text you and told you no when you asked me for something. That ain't none of your business. Respect the boundary, but don't take it personally, because it truly ain't got nothing to do with you. And if it did, you'll understand it got something to do with me eventually, and I'm sure the disconnect will happen naturally, okay? Another revelation, or is it relevation? I think the words are interchangeable, and I always say don't get caught up in the words, because sometimes it's the words that we're speaking that people get caught up in that we somehow miss the message. So that's another one. Don't get caught up in the words. What does it sound like to you? What am I saying, or what do you hear? That goes into the next one, because everybody wants to be heard. Now, when you have people in your life, I'll just say for me, the people that I choose to have in my life, or the people that I choose to eat with, the people that I choose to have in my space that have access to me, I want to hear what you got to say. I don't want you to not say what you feel like you should say to me because of being afraid of how I would respond to what you needed to say. Say what you got to say to me. And if you're sitting at a table and you have an opinion about something, maybe I need to hear your voice. You have a voice for a reason. And sometimes our perspective is given unsolicited, and we do give a lot of unbiased opinions. And I think that's different from me just hearing your perspective. If you are telling me something that you've been through, and the way that you chose to handle it, and the way that you got through it, and the way that you're able to manage your life and live this certain way, or the tool that worked for you, I need to hear that. Because maybe I've never heard something that you're doing, and you telling me or giving me some insight on something else will add value to our interaction, and it'll add value to my own life, because I needed to know that. But you holding information out because you want to keep it to yourself, but it's no value to our relationship or our interaction. How are we evolving, and how am I growing if you can't keep it real with me, and if I can't keep it real with you? Tell me, and tell me the truth. So I give everybody that's in my circle, or the people that are close-knit to me, permission to check me. And it's not to curse me out or call me names or to tell me that I'm talk down at me. Hold me accountable so that I can continue to grow. If I said one thing and you feel like my actions are showing something else, keep it real with me. I don't want to be a walking hypocrite. That's why I practice the things that I do now. I live them. So if you feel like something is off kilt, something is not in alignment, keep it real. But again, your voice deserves to be heard. And your voice deserves to be heard in your own life, when it comes to what you want to do with you, when it comes to how you want to wear your hair, when it comes to what you want to do with your face, your skin, your tattoos, whatever you want to do with yourself, you deserve to be heard. You have a voice. And a lot of times we silence that because we're afraid of what the next person may think, or if what we're saying will be acceptable to the other people. But who cares? Those that need to hear you will, and those that don't can excuse themselves. That's how I see it. And no apologies should be necessary. But use your voice. Use your voice. You deserve to use your voice in your relationship. If your partner is not staying on top of the things that they told you they want to do, talk to your partner. Or if your partner is not showing up in the relationship with you in the ways in which you need, talk to your partner. Your voice deserves to be heard. At your job, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, and again, I don't care. Even at work, I got something to say. I remember a time when I first got to Houston, I was waitressing, and the place that I was at had another kind of agency where they had workers or bartenders and waitresses. We had a big event. I don't know if it was Super Bowl. It was something big that was happening at this sports bar. They decided to bring in their outside girls into where we were working because we weren't qualified for the crowd that was coming in. And we had a meeting about it, and they told us, this is what we're doing. These girls are going to come in. They're going to work y'all tables this night. Excuse me. That don't work for me. You hired me for a reason. I like to work my section. Thank you. Your voice deserves to be heard. And you know what I did? I worked my section. Thank you. This is not that. If your job is telling you, hey, this is what we're going to do when it comes to breaks now. Y'all can't take 30 minutes. You got to take a 10-minute. You got to be back in. In those meetings, use your voice, because you're the person that has to abide by whatever those changes are going to be. Have you guys consulted with us about what we may need? But that's been everywhere that I go. My voice is heard. I got it. That don't work for me. Or this is what works for me. Because sometimes we can be too resistant. And sometimes we can be the person that's trying to be the oddball out too much. If it's not to benefit, and if it's just you speaking just to say something, that's different. But use your voice, and you'll know when to speak, and you'll know when you need to just get quiet and not say anything. And that's also using your voice, okay? Another revelation that I've just evolved into a different perspective of is truly knowing your capacity. Now, my sister always say, Zakia, Taman, that's what I call her. Y'all may know her as Zakia. I don't have the capacity. And I like it. And although sometimes I want her to have the capacity when I need her to talk, or when I want to be heard, or when I want to get something off my chest, I have to respect that she don't have the capacity. I can relate to that, because I don't feel like I always have the capacity either. I don't always have it. I don't always feel like being bothered. I don't always feel like talking. I don't always want to hang out. That's my capacity. That's like, okay, when I'm in a circle or when my folks are all together, sometimes I may just disappear on you. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. There's too much talking going on up in here for me. At this moment, I need a moment. I'm about to go take a bath. I'm going to put on my own vibe. I'm going to light my own candle, run some bubbles, turn the lights out, or whatever my own vibe is at that moment. I'm going to find it. Because I know my capacity. And I know if I continue to sit in this living room and there's too much talking going on for what I'm capable of right now, I might get an attitude, or somebody just might get it, and it ain't got nothing to really do with them. So I'm going to remove myself, because I know my capacity. Sometimes when different phone calls are needing to be made, I can't make certain business calls or have certain conversations before I check in with myself in the morning. I know my capacity. Do you know your capacity? Do you know how much you could take? And another way of saying that is, do you know when your cup is full and when you're running low on fumes? Know that. But that leads me to the next one, because what I've learned, again, an evolved perspective of what I've always known to be true is, I have the ability, or maybe I've been gifted to expand. Because I know ain't nothing put on me more than I can bear. I have to believe that. Because otherwise, I don't know what's going on. But being a decision maker, life can feel very heavy at times if you don't have the capability of being able to carry whatever it is that was given to you. Now, I was feeling a little heavy yesterday. I ain't gonna lie, I broke down. I cried. I said I'm tired. I let it out. I felt that. And after I did that, I felt a lot better. But again, knowing your capacity is one thing. But what I've realized is I have to be called to do the work that I'm doing. I have to be called to be who I am with my family, in my jobs, or my career in this world. I have to be called to do this thing, because I don't feel like I have that much capacity, because again, I don't always want to be bothered. But that goes back to just show up. And whatever your source is going to give you the ability to expand, to create the space for whatever it is that you need to do. I've always wondered, and I've said, these mamas, they through. Parents, I know y'all tired. I get it. But I also have been able to observe my mother and my sisters, or just people with kids, and I'm like, they ain't got it. But it's something in them that creates that space to make sure they feed them kids, or to make sure they get them kids up in the morning and take them off to school. Whatever the thing is, you have the ability to expand. And I know I got more space in me. I know I'm bigger than what I'm being. I know when I'm being petty, and I know when I'm supposed to vibe high. You understand what I'm saying? Because the capacity and the ability to expand allows me to have more room, allows me to have more space to welcome in all the things I like to receive. But if you're holding heavy and stagnant energy in your body, you'll be able to feel it. Learn to tune in with yourself so that you can know what your capacity is and when and how you can expand it. Now, I know for me, expanding my capacity or creating more space within myself is given after I unplug or disconnect from being in social settings. When I disappear or duck off from the world or leave the house and take a drive and go to a hideout spot where it's just me, myself, and my own energy, I expanded a little bit. I got a little bit more charge. I got a little bit more space to have that hard conversation. I got a little bit more room for whatever it is that's going to happen next, because you don't know. And if you don't have the space, or if you're not continuously pouring back into that cup and having a reciprocal system inside out with yourself in which you're pouring in and giving yourself your needs, I don't know where your energy going to come from or your pull going to come from when you have to push through. Where are you going to get it from? So I replenish myself by the routines that I create. I'm going to make sure that I pour in, because otherwise I'm going to have an attitude at you because you didn't love me or hug on me the right way in which I needed you to when I needed it. And now we're not good. So all of these different things I'm speaking of, they intertwine. And if you practice some of them, you'll understand, and your life will be a little bit more smooth. The next one is, we're going to have to get grounded, y'all. As I mentioned, it's a lot of things that's happening in the world, and a lot of them are out of our control. If you're not grounded in something, you're floating around. You're floating with no destination. Just out here moving about, being able to be pulled this way with your string when somebody needs you, being able to be dragged this way when somebody else is requesting you. Then you're going this way. You're floating around. If you don't know how to check in with, do I have the capacity to go out tonight? Play the tape out. Am I going to be good? Let's just say I'm out and the music's loud. I can't hear. I'm hungry. I got an attitude. But I could have prevented that if I know how to check in with myself, right? Get grounded. Whether you're getting grounded in God and finding a way to connect there, you got to find something to get grounded. I mean, where you can feel your feet on the ground and you understand that, okay, right where I'm at, I'm good. Whether you're getting grounded with your breath, conscious breathing, because we're breathing, right? But are you aware that you're breathing? A lot of times you're holding your breath. You may be clenching your jaw right now, so if you're watching this, take a breath and relax your jaw. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Drop your shoulders down. Drop in the moment. But if you're walking around like this and your mouth is tight, your breath is being held, what you doing? And an example of this, because I feel like I'm real grounded until I walk into that room, all the way upstairs in the bathroom to get the thing and then get back downstairs in the kitchen only to have forgotten what I went upstairs for. Again, I think I'm grounded until I'm on the phone or I'm doing something and I realize this ain't even what I was supposed to be doing at this time. You were headed to do something else. So what helps me to come back to the now and what helps keep me grounded is my breath. But you can find something that keeps you grounded. Again, if it's not God, it may be practicing spirituality. You can find a way to connect with whatever it is that you like to connect with. But in order for you to find what works best for you, first you got to tune in with yourself so that you can know what you want to do and not live your life for the next person. It could be dancing. It could be playing an instrument. What can get What can keep you grounded? Or what are you doing that keeps you grounded? All right? Another thing is finding a way to connect to the other worlds, or just finding a way to connect in general, which is also the same as being grounded in something. Because for me, the way that I still feel connected to my ancestors or people that have passed is through the things that I practice and also the things that I believe, my faith. Because seeing red birds or red cardinals have always been a symbol to me, or a symbol for my family. These are our reminders. These are people reminding us we good, we're covered, we're protected. So kissing at them it's just messages for us. Another thing that happened lately or this week, I got a random text message, or I got a text message that said, "Hello, this is Nikki," and it ended up being an insurance company, but my sister's name is Nikki, and it's spelled Nikki. Hello, this is Nikki. So for me, it said, oh, this is her way of connecting to me, and it works for me. Or being in my mother's backyard, and out of the entire backyard, right while I was in this moment having these feelings, crying or whatever I was going through, to look down and see a snake wrapped up in my mother's backyard, it's a message to me. Now again, you find a way to tune in to the things that you need to tune into. This is my business. I just don't care, and I'll share it with you though. That's a message to me. Because my sister referred to, Kundalini energy was her thing. Her name was Kundalini on one of her social platforms. So when I saw the snake, you couldn't tell me that wasn't a message, that she was reminding me that she's at peace and she's okay. And I have to find ways to stay connected, because otherwise, I'm not just going to float around and just be able to get drugged this way, drugged that way. I've been there. These are things that work for me. Another thing, I'm sitting there at the table with my folks. We're listening to an album. One of Jill Scott's songs is called "Ode to Nikki." All throughout this timeline, it's like those aren't coincidences to me. It works for me. But find something that connects with you. Another thing is rest. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels drained. I'm sure I'm not the only one that I'm tired sometimes. And sometimes being tired is not just in my body, but I don't have anything else to say. I'm not about to keep talking about that same thing. I'm not about to keep doing this same thing. And you'll know when you've had enough of something. Because when you've had enough, you get quiet. You ain't got nothing to say. Give yourself permission and give yourself the space to not say anything, sometimes. Or give yourself permission and give yourself the space to rest. It's okay to rest. I don't know where the cliche saying rest in peace came from, but I'd like to rest in peace while I'm here. Yes, I'm going to give myself the space to rest, and I'm going to give myself the space to relax. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how many hours in the day. I don't care how much work I've done this day. Whenever my body or my mind is feeling overexerted, or my mind is starting to loop, or is starting to think negatively, or I'm feeling overstimulated, I don't care if it's for 3 minutes. I'm going to put that phone down, or I'm going to put it on something that inspires me, and I'm going to kick my feet up. Or I'm about to go lay on the couch, put me a movie on, and take me a little nap. Let the movie watch me, if my mind and body need a moment to rest. And when it's time to go to bed, ain't no, I should have did this. Dang, I should have got that done. We having conversations, God and I, like, good job, thank you, Jesus. Rubbing my feet together in gratitude that I'm able to rest, and I'm going to get that. Find moments throughout your day and give yourself permission to rest. You deserve to rest in peace while you're alive. A lot of us are alive and we're not even living our days truthfully or fully in how we'd like to live them. Our jobs and life circumstances are pulling so much of our time that we're not even able to really be in peace right now. When none of that even matters once it's all over with. We get up and we grind and we hustle and we work till the ground is down. We work our bodies tirelessly. All for none of it to be relevant when you can't do nothing with it. Live your life in peace and get you some rest. Another revelation or revelation that I've experienced another way of thinking or evolved perspective in. Let's see. How you read this? Let me see. That's a good one. Let me take a little sip of water because I am running my mouth. But I hope it resonates with y'all. I hope y'all are getting something out of this. Tell me what's working, what's not working. Tell me, just give me some feedback. And this is what I mean by give yourself permission to rest. I felt like I was running live to one of my classes. I like to start right on time. I got in my car, and instead of me hitting the button, putting it in gear, slamming on the gas, throwing the seatbelt, flying down the street to get to somewhere, I did one of these. I took my breath. And I said, now we can go. I'm going to take my rest throughout the day. Taking pauses are necessary. Pause. Take a moment. And then continue. You don't even know what that pause is doing to you. That's going to give you the expansion, again, expanding yourself so that you can have more space to do the stuff that you need to get done. You got it in you, and you got way more room in your body than you think you do. And that's why if y'all really want to come practice with me, come practice with me. Once you give yourself permission sometimes in your thinking, your body will follow. So a lot of times it's not even being flexible in what you can do with your body. But if you tell yourself that you can't do something over and over again, guess what? You're not going to do it. You got way more space, way more stretch in you, way more discipline, way more focus, way more energy in you than you think you do. You just keep telling yourself that you don't. That's another story. This is a good one. I've realized I don't have to fight every battle. That goes back to all I can do is all I can do. There was a season, or there have been seasons, because the thinking is evolving, but I sometimes don't realize where I was until I look back in hindsight, because I've always felt like I was evolved. No, I don't know everything, but what I do know to be true is I ain't got to fight every battle. Nope. It's not for me to fight. Again, I'm tired, or so I think, but I'm tired of fighting. I want a peaceful life. I don't even want to raise my voice. I don't want to raise my voice. I want to talk to you just like this. And if you can't hear me, that's your business. A peaceful life, a relaxed forehead, a peaceful life, a life of ease and flow, of grace. I'm not about to fight every battle. Once we have the conversation, I say what I say, you say what you say. We're not agreeing. We can agree or disagree. It's how I feel. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm not going to get it. And you don't hear me. We ain't got to keep talking about it. Cool. I respect your opinion, sweetie. You enjoy your day. Oh, okay, we're not. Okay, that's cool too. I'm not raising my voice. You don't have to fight every battle. Do what you can do. Trust that that's enough. Throw your hands up for the rest of it. And guess what? It's going to get taken care of. Because everything always works itself out. And there is an energy, a power, a source way bigger than just you and me that always seems to make everything feel a little better than it is. And I'm going to give it to that. Whatever you call it. Don't get caught up in my words. We're talking about all the same thing. Whether you say God, whether you say the universe, whether you say Yahweh, whether you say what, no matter what you say, the moon and the stars, no matter what you say, if you took a moment to not think about what the word is, you'll understand we talking about the same thing. But again, I'm not going to raise my voice. That's not a battle for me to fight. I'm not going to go around trying to convince people of things that we should know to be true, but we're so blinded and so in our own way and think that we know everything and think that your way is the only way and think that your truth is the whole truth, that you get to decide what everything looks like for everybody else, and if it doesn't align with yours, you can't see it. That's not a battle for me to fight, because I'm not raising my voice. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, I think that's everything. If y'all have any questions for me, please give them to me now. Have a few moments, or if someone would like to check in, if someone has specific questions for me. I don't even know if I just said that, but I'm going to say it again. Because, again, I don't know. I'm not grounded until I think about something I'm trying to do, and it ain't even what I'm supposed to be doing. But, yeah, any questions for me while I'm live? If you want to come live with me real quick and ask me something, I have about 20 minutes before the community group. And if you'd like to join us there, join us there. I'm going to show up, y'all. And I like to be held accountable to show up. And I'm showing up the best that I can. So whatever it looks like, accept it or mind thine own business. Oh, Lordy. Lord, give me strength. It's something I've been having to say so much throughout my days. Give me strength, Lord. Give it to me, because my goodness. I'm taking an intentional week off from the gym this week so I can rest. So what you were speaking is an affirmation for me. Yes, get your rest. Get your rest. So I can't like comments while I'm live. Okay. I try to be as conscious of my nervous system as possible, making sure it stays regulated. How do you do that? How do you practice being conscious of your nervous system? Took a praise this morning and my GPS gave me an extra hour. Is that a good thing? What you saying? We can't save the world. Facts. Nope. But if you change and save yourself, it affects the people in the world around you. So it's a domino effect. What's the word? It's a trickle. What's that word? Okay, y'all. If I find out that word, I'm going to come back and post it. Oh, you took a pause this morning. Okay. Good. But yeah, if y'all like to join the community, we will be meeting in person very soon. I'm working on some things, and I'm excited for them to unravel. But in the meantime, join us on Zoom. Download Zoom. It's literally a community check-in. We talk about all the things people don't want to talk about. We have the conversations that we need to have but don't have. And we keep it real with each other. We meet in 20 minutes on Zoom. I'll post a link. We having the conversations. Your camera can be on or off. You can talk if you want to. If you don't want to talk, that's your business too. But that's where we'll be. I'm going to take a little pause. Let me see. Tapping in with my body constantly, making sure my shoulders are relaxed. that my jaws are relaxed, that my posture is good, that I'm not straining in any way. Conscious breathing, keeping my thoughts pure. Oh, for sure. It's a real practice though, right? And that's what people think. People think that it's just oh, I got it. I'm doing it. I'm living it. No. You just got the awareness now that you don't do it. So now you have to intentionally move and live your body, and that leads me to one that I'm just glad I walked myself to, because one that I don't even see where it is, but people, we really should be ashamed of ourselves when it comes to us giving our opinions to how another person should be living their life. Yeah, you can want the best for somebody, but it's a way that you can tell them that. But telling a person how they should wear their hair, how you like their makeup, what you prefer that they wear, what they should do for work, that's really their business. And we need to get better at minding thine own business. So I want to challenge and encourage you. Find freedom in your life. Tune into yourself, and you figure out what you like. You figure out what you want to do without asking other people's permission of how you should live your life. That's true freedom. Once you have an off day coming up soon, or if you have an off day, schedule that day intentionally for you, not you and to fulfill them. What is it that you like to do? For me, sometimes I randomly will drive, whether it's an hour away, 2 hours away. If it's a new landmark or a lake or a waterfall, I'm going to take that drive. I may pack me up my own picnic. I'm not going to wait on you to take me on a picnic. I'm going to take myself on a picnic. So basically, anything that you like for other people to do for you when it comes to dating you, if you were dating you, how would you like to be treated? Give that to yourself. Dress up for yourself like you would for them. Not because they told you, hey, wear this. What's your vibe? What you like? Figure that out, y'all. And that's truly the only way that you can find a way to live in peace while you're here, is if you're showing up authentically yourself. But if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're comparing your life, trying to live what you think they living because you're looking through a lens that you really don't know what's going on behind the actual picture, mind thine own business. Figure out what your life is going to look like and live it out loud now. Because this time is not promised. We don't know a lot of things. I'm not going to fight the battle of trying to figure out everything, because that's tiring too. I'm going to just do me. I'm going to live my life, but I'd like to live it full. I want to do all the stuff that I want to do. I want everything that belongs to me to enter into my life, so I'm going to create the space for myself to receive it. And that requires me not raising my voice. That requires me feeling soft. It requires certain things of me. So I got to keep it real with me so that I can allow what's real for me to come right to me. Because when things are truly for you, you ain't got to look for them. You don't have to keep calling. You ain't got to search. It'll come. It'll come. You got to call it in. And you got to know that it's aligning with the energy that it's supposed to be in alignment with. But if your energy is all over trying to be this person and do what this person said and trying to figure out who this person is, it don't know what to give you. It's confused. Be sure about who you are. And just in this moment, because as I mentioned, my perspective is constantly evolving. I'm constantly evolving. I like my hair like this today. Who knows what I do with my hair next? But it's a constant journey of me choosing and living my truth out loud. I really hope the same for you. I really hope, my hope for the world and my hope for you all is that you find a way to be courageous and boldly be yourself. You boldly wear that hairstyle. You boldly put on that bright colored, whatever that thing is, or that all black, if that's what your vibe is. But you boldly show up doing you. You use your voice in those rooms because you understand that you were put in those rooms and you deserve to be there. And just live your life out loud. And living my life out loud kind of is in secrecy. I don't know how, it's an oxymoron because I live out loud, but it's mainly for me to experience. Coming live or bringing things to social media is just giving y'all a little sneak peek of what's really going on in my life. Because privacy is my thing. So coming out publicly with certain things and conversations are honestly a big deal to me. I like to provide the exposure and the experience, but I really want you to find a way to do you as boldly and bravely as you deserve to. Because it's your life. Live it full. And always, always stay true to yourself. Stay true to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I'm not going to raise my voice. I ain't going to raise my voice. But I'm going to holler at y'all. Again, meet me on Zoom if you'll be joining me there. Or if you like a mini session, DM me or comment here. If you'd like to schedule a private session off of live, holler at me. If you'd like a family session, a couple session, holler at me. All right. Somebody was creeping up on me. But yeah, y'all just holler at me. I'm here.